Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. This is the Night Rider himself, the Black Knight, Mr. O. And today, well, actually tonight is Tuesday night, and you know Tuesdays on here. I talk about one of my other favorite passions and one of the other things I do love the most, and that's tech. So this is another episode of Tuesday Night Tech, and we got a lot to cover today. As y'all know, recently in the news and mobile tech, my favorite brand and I'm pretty sure my fellow Samsung Knights, if they're listening, that their favorite brand, Samsung, has been under a lot of heavy attack by the mainstream media, and as well from these old mom and pop tech sites, as well as a number of hate trolls that like to tweet and make their little memes of due to the exploding batteries and stuff like that. Well, you know, Samsung made a global recall of the Note 7s immediately, and they handled the situation with precise as a professional and with dignity and integrity. And a hat tip really needs to go off to Samsung for that, because I don't think a lot of people don't realize how hard that brand works to worked hard to bring the best handset of 2016 to the forefront. And as I said before, and I said this all the time, things like this happens. This could happen to any OEM. This could happen to anything. Period. Let's just go ahead and just put that out there right now. Okay? But despite the fact, minus the hate, that got drowned out by and a hat tip goes to Samsung, even by their rivals for handling the situation. And what that does, that basically puts, I got more faith in them than ever for them taking care of their customers, taking care of their subscribers, and that's how it's done. So I am happy to report that as of tomorrow, September 21st, which is Wednesday, tomorrow, the return, as you see in my podcast, and you see the picture right there, you know, Jack Nicholson from The Shining, you know, here's Johnny. This most, just to make it official, says, I'm back. That's right, the return of the Winter Queen. She has come back to reclaim her throne that she never lost. Well, so everybody this whole weekend was so worked up and all this on a less than stellar phone, which I will talk about later. But the Winter Queen is back to go reclaim the throne. Now, you had some haters out here, people out here was saying that, oh, well, this gonna tarnish Samsung's image, da-da-da. I never believed that. And some people get out there even said that they will never recover from it, because these stories about, and these lies, like the guy down here in my home state of Florida, in St. Petersburg, talk about saying that his Jeep Cherokee exploded in the fire because he had left his Note 7 charged up. I said right there from the get-go that was an insurance scam. If you really not from South Florida, you're not really from Florida, you don't know the mindset of how people down here work to try to do anything to get cash, then you really don't know jack. Okay? After investigations from insurance agents and some of Samsung's own people, they came to and also by the St. Petersburg Fire Department, and investigators came to conclusion that they found no evidence, no link between the Note 7 or the explosion of that Jeep Cherokee. Come to find out, I was right, as well as several other people that was right. All lies. Just like with an S7, an Amazon employee, her S7 Edge had blew up. That turned out to be a red flag. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, a lot of people just don't understand that, you know, that when I seen that shit, I said to myself that that was a red herring from the get-go. That was a red herring from the get-go. And and what you gonna see, you're gonna see a lot of other red flags gonna start popping up. You're gonna see a lot more red flags popping up. But nonetheless, here's the good thing. Despite the fact, throughout all that, people who basically bought their original notes on the day to launch, August 19th, you know, I know Samsung was saying that they were telling people, you know, the carriers are saying like to send it in, but people I know, friends I know, fellow knights that I know, said they wasn't having no problems with that, and they just love that phone too much. They say they're not going to give it up. And, you know, even I said myself that until they bring out the replacements. But now that the replacements are out, yeah, they gonna turn them in anyway. They gonna turn them in anyway, though. Just to be best to be safe than sorry. So therefore, so that's what that shows me. That shows the heart, the dedication, and the courage to stand trial by fire. And it also makes me more determined than ever to even get my Note 7. I mean, I still got the Note 5, which, by the way, still holds the title of America's favorite phone. So August, I'm gonna say August. I'm sorry. The 21st of this month, which is tomorrow. They will be in U.S. stores. I had got wind that if you got AT&T, they already got. If you got AT&T, and if you got the original Note 7 from that carrier, they already got them in the stores now. So you can go. Well, you can probably go there as early as tomorrow morning and get and exchange yours and get it in. Now I think T-Mobile gonna have theirs tomorrow too. I haven't heard no word yet on Sprint and Verizon, so I really don't know. But this is what you look for when you get your replacement Note 7. How you know you got the replacement? Before you even open the box, look on the bottom of the box where you got your barcode at. You're gonna see like a little black square at the bottom. If you got the black square on there, that means you in the clear. You golden. That means you got the safe one, and so forth. You ain't got to worry about it. And then you're going to see something else too on the screen when you start setting everything up, when you do the battery conditioning and stuff. The battery icon that you see is going to be green. I think that's something Samsung worked out with Google to admit, to let you know that it is safe. But either way, it just goes to show, like, Samsung has reported that they have like over 500, about 500,000 being sent out right now. So if you got yours through your carrier, you can go down to your carrier right now to the store and exchange it and get you the safe one. I know it's gonna be crazy, but you know, it's safety first. Better be safe than sorry. And you know, either way, at the end of the day, guess what? You still gonna have an amazing $850, $900 device. You know, and on top of that, it's the best on the market. But let me just go ahead and I'm gonna run down the specs for y'all again for those who tuning in to my show tonight on Tuesday Night Tech. Galaxy Note 7, you're looking at a 5.7 inch dual curve quad HD Super AMOLED screen, which is 2560 by 1440 resolution with 550 something PPI. Is powered with the CPU is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 quad-core processor. You have 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabyte internal storage. With the micro SD card slot, you can expand all the way up to 256. Shoot, sorry about that. You know, brain freeze. It is running running Marshmallow 6.0. It soon will be upgraded to Nougat, which is 7.0. The physical attributes, you know, you're gonna have what you got. You got the main camera, which is a 12 megapixel dual pixel camera, same as it is on the S7 and the S7 Edge. It's the best camera on the market, bar none, period. You know, when it comes to camera, Samsung don't make no joke, no bones about it. Front facing camera is going to be 5 megapixel wide angle lens with the aperture. I forgot the aperture, but I'm just running through this real quick because I got a lot to cover. What you do have the fingerprint sensor. You do have the iris scanner. You got the USB Type-C. It's also IP68 certified, water resistant, dust resistant. You got also fast adaptive charging, fast wireless charging, and it's gonna come in 3 colors in US carriers, which is onyx black, silver titanium, onyx black, which I call T'Challa, silver titanium, aka adamantium, aka vibranium, aka the Silver Surfer, and of course my personal favorite, the blue coral, aka Arctic vibranium, aka I don't know, I call it something else, but you'll probably see that on my Facebook page. But right now it is the best phone on the market. It's the most beautifully designed, beautifully crafted phone with the dual edge curves. I like that. Oh, and the most important part, what makes the Note a new improved S Pen, which the S Pen meaning that the phone can survive underwater 5 feet for like at least 30 minutes, and you can use the S Pen underwater and write on the phone. How about that? There's so many features on this phone. It's so amazing. It's ridiculous. So so hit up your favorite carriers, tweet them, whatever, and stuff like that. And see what's going on, so y'all can go ahead and get your hands on that beauty. Because the debacle and the hate, despite all that, my Samsung Knights, they stood tall in the paint. They wouldn't pay no attention to the haters, because guess what? They stayed the course. And I'm gonna tell you something like this. I've always said this, and anybody that know me know I live by this. Men do what they want, boys do what they can. We'd rather get out there and talk with our wallets rather than with our mouths. So, F the haters, F the naysayers, F the fakers. That's my thing about with that. Samsung is still gonna rule this roost, because in October you got the Gear S3 Classic finna drop, as well as some other handsets from the other South Korean company, LG, dropping the V20, which is dropping supposedly on the 21st of October, which is a rumor that, I don't know, US carriers might resell them around then. I don't know. That's just a rumor, so don't take my word for it. And then come November, you got the Gear S3 Frontier smartwatch. That drops in November. So really, to tell you the truth, it's going to be a clean sweep. Whether fools like it or not from Samsung, they hate Samsung for it, but guess what? They still gonna laugh all the way to the bank. That little setback of the recall it's not gonna hurt them in the long run. It's not gonna hurt them in the long run. So for people who say that they ain't never gonna recover from this, just like somebody made that story out about the 6-year-old kid that got burnt by a exploding Galaxy Note 7, which come to find out it wasn't a Galaxy Note 7. It turned out to be a Galaxy Core Prime, a 2014 handset. This smells like the work of those clowns from Cupertino, no doubt. They got their fingerprints all over this. They knew for a fact, and this is my personal opinion, I don't care who thinks about it, but it makes sense. This app, they knew for a fact that they knew when the Note 7 dropped, it was going to smash everything there was out there. Don't even get me started on the budget phones. I'm not talking about them. I'll leave that to some of them other so-called tech reviewers. They don't count. And speaking of Cupertino, let's get on about with the iPhone. Now, September 16th was the day that the iPhone dropped. I know this for a fact because I've already posted a video of the idiots that camp outside for about a week, to go in there and want to get a phone that's basically hasn't changed in the next 10 years. All this new stuff, like they moved the antenna. You got quad LED flash and 2 cameras of a different aperture or whatever like that. Well, now it's problems coming out of Cupertino right now. Big problems. Now, despite the fact that they say it's water resistant, dust resistant, now the water resistant part is the part that bothers me. It's water resistant, but the warranty doesn't cover water damage. Let me say that again. The warranty is water resistant, but the warranty don't cover water damage. Now, somebody please tell me how that makes sense. Now we getting word that people want to make jokes about the Note 7 when they exploding batteries. Well, now some owners of the iPhone 7s and 7 Plus are now hearing hissing sounds coming out their phone. Now, the only time you hear a hissing sound from an electronic device, unless that sucker is just pre-planted to detonate or something like that. Because the hissing sound sounds like that of a cobra or a bull snake. I said the only thing missing is the damn snake charmer. And then here's something else. You know, with them removing the headphone jack, and a few of my friends who got iPhones are vividly upset about that. That they kind of killed it with that, because now the headphones that come with it, because I seen one of our fellow knights did a video unboxing. Shout out to Flossie Carter, first of all. No, man, you know Flossie always keep it 100. Shout out to him. That it does come with the wired headphones, but now with a lack of a headphone jack on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, you got to plug it into the lightning port of the phone. But that's you know that's, I don't know how that's gonna work. What bothers me is it's got that little dongle. If you got your old earbuds that you got to plug it to the lightning port, then you got a female part that sticks out, so that way you can use your 3.5mm headphone jack. Oh, and here's the best part about it. I don't know if it's this one or the ones you got to buy separately, the wireless earbuds that they talked about. There's a lot of health issues coming behind that, because come to find out, thanks to and I got the article from Organic and Health. You know, one of the fellow knights had let me know about that, and it was crazy. Yeah, Organic and Health, that they showed that them wireless earbuds emits radiation right to the brain. And see, the way how the long part is positioned at somewhere close to like the lower part of your jaw. Okay, if the radiation goes through there, that sits right in the area of your brain, or the bottom base part of your brain. That's where your medulla oblongata resides at. You know, people better start learning to understand if you're taking your health seriously. And see, the thing with Apple, they don't never try to think of safety first. All Apple want to care about is want to make money, and they did too. And they did too. They made some money, because the prices and all this stuff is just totally ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy. You get an iPhone 7 Plus, 256 gig. You paying like not depending on the carrier, like $900 something plus tax. You looking at about close to $1,200. That's crazy. That's real crazy. Anybody that go pay that gotta be a fool. But they know that they know they scared of that phone, man. They scared of Samsung. They scared of the Note 7. That Note 7's mopping everything up. So far, I haven't gotten my hands on the iPhone 7 or the iPhone 7 Plus. I know some of my associates that's already ordered theirs, and unfortunately, they pre-ordered theirs, so they got to wait till the second week of October for them to receive theirs. Which, again, it doesn't make any sense to me. Pre-order means that you should have been the first one that got it first. That's how I feel about that. Because it ain't exactly been as good for Apple as of late. Some people I've talked to, they said the phone itself is boring. Hold on one second, I'm looking for it right now. I know I had it. But it isn't organic in health, though, so that's where it's at right there. But the thing is about it, this is I'm explaining. I want to ask all these iPhone fanatics, and I'm gonna just ask y'all one thing. When are y'all gonna wake up and start falling for their goddamn junk? I really want to know. Apple, like Google, has never been a tech company. Okay? They never have been. iPhone to me is like a fashion statement. It's like you wearing accessories to go with the outfit you're gonna wear for that night. But they no longer have the stranglehold on the U.S. because right now Samsung has basically won a lot of people over here. With last year with the Note 5 is now still dubbed as America's favorite phone, and the S7 Edge, especially being the Android phone of the year, and they come back and they top it off with the Note 7. Ooh, y'all in for a long fight, Apple. Y'all in for a long fight because y'all got your own problems of your own. Now, some people gonna get out here, and some people for reputed or respected publishing company too, you know, that's basically supposed to be about Samsung, but instead they want to go ahead and bet against them every time, which makes no sense to me. Then why go right for them if you don't like what they're about? And I guess that's one of the reasons this stuff, you know, why I'm so proud and happy to be a Samsung Knight, because the fact of the matter, Samsung Knights are gonna stand tall in the paint, and they're gonna weather the storm no matter what. You know, we can get rowdy, but most of the times, man, shoot, we just about we very introverted, and we about ourselves. We're open-minded to new ideas, new ways, new things. Cause trust me, we all love tech. We all about that. But being a Samsung Knight is more than just having a love for Samsung or Samsung products and all that. It's also a way of life. It's also carrying yourself like a professional. It's also carrying yourself like a human being and showing compassion for other people too, who basically share the same passions or somewhere similar to yours or whatever. And also to be a voice for the voiceless too, you know, whether it's in tech, whether it's in social injustice, whether it's against anything. This group has been around since 2011, and they continue to flourish, and I don't see no signs of them slowing down. And this ain't about no bashing no other OEMs and all this stuff, because truly they heard a lot about us. But then again, who cares and who don't care? Y'all made your little jokes, but see, in the end, guess what? We the ones gonna have the last laugh, and that's exactly how it's gonna go down, like that. So whatever device you got, or whatever OEM you stick with, if that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat. Me personally, I'm gonna ride or die with Samsung, because that's what works for me, and it'll continue works for me. It'll continue work for several of the other Knights. But this isn't about the Knights. This isn't about Samsung. This is about the whole tech field in general. And see, whether you guys, you trolls and you haters don't want to admit it or not, the majority of Android phones that are sold in the US and abroad are mostly from Samsung. You barely hear anything about LG, Huawei, HTC, Sony, Motorola, any of them. Because see, when it comes down to who's gaining the most revenue off of it, Samsung and Apple, that's it. In the revenue department, they ruling the roost. If these other OEMs were smart, they would get behind Samsung in order to take down the evil empire known as Apple. Now, some people wanted me to go ahead and like the research and got the documentation, the video documentation, that Apple don't want nobody to see. That Apple tried everything to get rid of this video that they don't want you to see, about how they go, what the lengths they go through just to make a iPhone, and show you just how wicked it is. And I may do it, but then again I may not, because see, for one, you're not going to play me like a fiddle. Because like I told that individual, you want to find it, you go get it yourself. You got a smartphone just like I do. Well, he's got an iPhone 6 Plus. Figure it out for yourself if you're that smart. But then again, he is a Trump supporter, so that's a no-no right there. But just to recap everything, just to let you know, tomorrow, Wednesday, September 21st, 2016, excuse me, the Galaxy Note 7 will be back in U.S. retailers early tomorrow. Check with your favorite carrier and see if they got them available. But they wouldn't be there. They'll be there no later than the 28th of this month. So tomorrow is their D-Day. So on that note, I pretty much covered a lot of the things. So on that note, this ends the Tuesday Night Tech. This your guy. This is the Black Knight himself, Mr. O, one of the founders, one of the three kings of the Samsung Knights, and one of the founders. Go ahead, signing off. Shoot, first thing first, before I sign off, give a shout out to my favorite carrier, my most favorite carrier, T-Mobile. Giving a shout out to the young lady named Jan. She helped me out with a little discrepancy, and I forever would thank her for that. And shout out to T-Mobile, shout out to John Legary for handling situations like how they are handling and stuff. And T-Mobile is now becoming America's favorite darling now. whether people want to know it or not. Yeah, you got Verizon, you got AT&T and Sprint, but that's give a shout out to them. And I will give a shout out to the Samsung Knights too, man, for y'all resolve and for y'all metal for standing tall in this paint amid this debacle. And you know, we stand behind each other, and we gonna stand behind Samsung. So on that note, this the original Black Knight, the Knight Rider himself, Mr. O, signing off. Peace out. That wasn't that funny. Anyway, I'm out.